So be it.
Prediction from C. Price Jones writes, I want to see C grow a pair and get through a round of 16, but we will all be disappointed when he only sweats profusely on his keyboard and GG's after seeing his opponent's build order countering his in the early game. Here's another one from Canada Grade A, writes, Go Pure! I want to root for C, but Pure has always had a soft spot in my heart. Much potential that I still think he can live up to. I agree with that. Here's one from Zapatista Rage, writes, Go Pure, baby! A lot of exclamation points. Here's another one from J Wakes 2, I think, writes, At last, C isn't afraid for the OSL and MSL anymore. He will do good this round. Another one from Matt Booze writes, Pure is the greatest player ever! Ever! Exclamation points typed randomly on his keyboard, I think. But okay, it looks like we're getting ready to start. This is Pure versus C. Again, one player who's lost versus one player who's already won. C is the winner, going to try to cement his lead, as Pure is going to try to claw his way back up. Otherwise, he's going to need a tiebreaker. Except up at the 10 o'clock position in purple is Pure. Down at the 5 o'clock position in green is C. Cross positions on Eye of the Storm. And I'm glad Fighting Spirit is in the map pool this time, so I can't confuse those two maps. This is the only jungle map in this OSL. And it's kind of weird to look back on previous OSLs just to see the tile sets for them. It's weird to see a sand map, because this is, I believe, the first sand map that I've encountered commentating on the OSL. But I've commentated on plenty of Twilight maps. The Batu OSL was basically all Twilight. I think it was 3 Twilight maps. And then Chapong Rion, was it? Something like that. But yeah, we got a pretty balanced tile set this time around. I do wish we could see more snow maps, but I know there is a logical reason why they can't do that. It hurts the pro gamers' eyes to see white for that long, since they practice hours and hours a day. Not too healthy. But okay, Pure has built a pylon right at his choke. Going to make it difficult if C should try an early push of some kind. And let's see. I don't have much to say, as I said. Completely unprepared. Let's see if I can come up with something to say. Pure's favorite games against the Terran, I remember, were in the Ever OSL, I think it was, in the round of 36, when he went up against Lita. In the round of 36, it was a best of 3. They took it to 3 games, and we had nukes, we had carriers. It was glorious. Glorious. We had epic stasis fields to block chokes, so yes, Lita wouldn't be able to run by. So it would be nice. I think I actually had one person comment on this. It would be nice to see Pure and Lita both move up into the round of 8 so they could face each other. Of course, that's kind of a rare... that would be a rare occurrence if it did happen. Almost no chance of that happening. Especially with the scores as they are right now. But still, a man can dream. So Pure's inside the main of C, just trying to see what he's doing, see what C's doing. Oh god, the horrible puns, they're just beginning again. Only 2 probes on the gas right now, so I think that Pure will be trying to throw down his expansion soon. As soon as he can, anyway. He does have that extra probe on the minerals, so that probably means he's going for that expansion as soon as he can. As soon as he possibly can. The cybernetics core are already down for him. And the observers are pointing out that there's still only 2 probes on the gas, so we're probably not going to see a huge tech build from Pure, as we've seen him do on El Nino before. He teched up as quickly as he could to Dark Templar and shuttles, So he got a shuttle out, filled them with 3 or 4 Dark Templar, and then dropped them right inside the base. I think it was of Wasson's, and demolished him completely. So he isn't going for that same kind of tech build, even though Pure can be a pretty cheesy player sometimes. People think of him as a macro player, and he is macro basically 80 or 90% of the time, but he does pull off some of the glorious cheese builds when he sets his mind to it, like versus Fantasy on Match Point last season. That was glorious in the tiebreaker. Alright, looks like this Zealot is not going to live too much longer since the Marines falling back between the supply depot and the barracks so they can be protected. So Pure are going to run back with that Zealot, and he's actually coming back down with his army, so he might be regrouping to push the front. Since he knows that C is not committed to a second base just yet, he thinks he might be able to sneak into the main and get some damage done. Coming in with 2 Zealots now, but no Dragoon support yet. The Dragoon is on its way down. So, okay, C positioning himself between the barracks and the supply depot again, protecting those Marines just fine. So he'll be able to fend this off for now. And he does have the tank on the way. Here comes the Dragoon, though. Pure is still pushing his luck, going to try to take down all these Marines before the first tank comes out. If he can protect this Zealot at the same time, he might be able to take the tank down, but I don't think he's going to be able to take down a tank with just 1 Dragoon. And the Zealot goes down, so Pure has got to get out of there. He's going to lose this Dragoon, or at least get a lot of damage to it, taking down all the shield and about half the life from that Dragoon. So I'm not sure if that was completely worth it, although he took out most of the Marines. So if C was going to try to push the front, it's going to make it a lot harder to do that now. And the Cybernetics core is spinning, so we're seeing the Dragoon range coming out before the Nexus plops down. Right now, here comes the Nexus. So Pure does have, I'd say, 2 Dragoons out in the field, but that's basically all he has. He's not going to be able to be the aggressor for a long period of time, especially considering C is going for an aggressive build anyway, building 2 factories now, so he is going to try to do a push soon. He's not even worrying about his second base. But of course, Pure doesn't know that. Pure doesn't have the scout right now on C's natural expansion, so he doesn't know if C is going for that second base right now or not. I think he assumes it at this point that he's going for the second base, but C is not going for 2-fac push now. Still pumping Marines too, so C is going to try to end it with a timing push as best he can. He's still spinning his machine shop. I think that will be for mines most likely, and then eventually for siege mode. But okay, see, he's pumping from both of his factories, and he is going to come out with vultures, and he is going to be a very big threat if he is not scouted by Pure. So let's see if Pure can get that scout in. He is hovering around with 1 Dragoon I saw, but not much else as far as scouts go for him. So if he's not hovering outside the natural expansion once C moves out, this could be absolutely devastating to him. And it looks like that might be the case. 3 tanks on the way. And Pure has positioned his Dragoons at the top of the map. He's looking for maybe a drop or something, not exactly sure, or a vulture run-by to the side of the base, but C coming up with all of his units right now, and Pure's kind of sweating it already. Maybe he can sense impending doom, but he is going to need to get a nice Penter attack on what C is doing, finally coming out with the scout. Seeing the SCV scout up there, but C knows to bypass the probe scout, so now he's coming in with his entire army. Pure sees it now. He's got to pull back with all of his troops. He might not be able to defend this with what he has, because he was just now putting down extra gateways. Going to hold the front with these pylons for now, but he does need to get the surround on everything the best he can before the siege gets done. Siege is being researched right now by C, and he is going to try to hold this front. And once he gets siege mode, this could be almost impossible for Pure to fall back. Pure dragging what? Sad. Dragging mines into another Dragoon. That was such a needless death of that Dragoon. Oh man, I'm not sure what he was doing right there. He's focusing on something else completely, it seems. But he needed those 2 Dragoons and just lost another Dragoon. So, oh man, C has a siege mode now and a bunker at the front. So wow, just perfect execution from C on this rush. Got a little bit lucky with those mine drags though, but oh boy. Not much that Pure can do right now, actually. I'm trying to think of his options, but he doesn't have many, just because of the way this map is positioned. He's kind of blocked himself in with this pylon. Of course, he can get through with Dragoons, but it's just such a narrow little gap right now for C to exploit. C is going to be able to take down this Nexus no problem. And C is putting down his second base, so he will be able to recover if this if this troop is taken down, but I don't think it is going to be taken down. Pure focusing on getting out more Dragoons, basically needs those to snipe the mines that are going to be all over his base soon. I have a feeling that C is just going to run right into the main with his vultures soon enough, and this is just going to be so difficult. Not sure what those Dragoons are doing out there in the middle of the map. Not much, it looks like, trying to intercept those reinforcements from C, but that's actually not getting much done. Just a couple of Dragoons. So, yep, Pure is blocked inside of his main now. He is waiting for a Reaver to try to tackle this, but he doesn't really have the economies to support this kind of tech for long. So if he doesn't take down this troop with his Reaver, if he loses the Reaver, especially if he loses the Reaver, he's going to lose this game. It's going to be over. So let's see if he can get enough damage done with this initial Reaver. It's going to be so hard, though, because of that bunker out front. Is going to be able to take down the shuttle and pick at the Reaver, even if the Reaver's landed right on top of the siege tanks. To land right on top of the siege tanks, you got to get right next to the bunker, so it's not going to be easy to get those Reaver Scarabs in. But he's going to try anyway. Going to pick up that Reaver, got the Scarabs in it. So see if he can micro around, get the damage done that he needs to get done. It does have the observer in, so he knows exactly where to drop. And C scans, though. He sees the shuttle, sees the direction of the shuttle, so he's going to know to go straight up. But Pure might be bypassing this. I lost track of that shuttle, but he might be heading towards the... No, I don't think he's heading towards C's base. He's just kind of hovering around between the troops here, looking for the opportunity to strike mines again, being melted by the siege splash damage dropping. That's it. GG from Pure. He knows he completely screwed at that point. Just losing those 2 Dragoons was just such a huge blow to his force that he had on the ground. If he had not lost those, that might have been a much different game. But alright, C takes it with the timing push to FAC. Gotta love it. Let's move on to the final game of the night.